You're welcome to Global NEXUS. This is an info YouTube channel that would give you a lot of information about a lot of things you'd want to do, from business to politics, geopolitics, socio-economic analysis, sustainable development, and a whole lot of information. This is going to be a part 2 of the podcast, how to make Zoomlion Ghana very effective. So if you've not watched the part 1 of this particular video, then I would entreat you to go and watch the part 1 of this video. The link is in the description. You can check it out. Watch that video, and then it will help you to really appreciate this particular video, because in this video, we are going to give you a detailed plan on how a decentralized system could transform Zoomlion Ghana and make it the organization we want it, the organization free from labor force breakdown, organization free from employee agitation and unrest. There are a lot of places that when Zoomlion don't comes, it becomes a terrible situation. When Zoomlion don't pick up their trash, they have no other alternative means to get rid of their trash. So that is why it is important that we need to see to it that Zoomlion Ghana becomes the organization we want, providing cleaning services around the clock, and also providing employment for people whose livelihood depends on Zoomlion Ghana. So in part 1 of this video, we look at how a small decentralized system that has emerged in the Zoomlion session or in the Zoomlion organization that is helping organization in a different way. An event where a few section of the Zoomlion people is being paid by a different entity. Notable ones among these people is AMA. And we have the AMA Zoomlion groups going to work every day, even at a point where the Zoomlion people are demonstrating, or at the point where the Zoomlion people are complaining of salary arrears and are not going to work. We have these people going to work. So looking at a system of that nature, we thought of it that this centralized plan will work best for Zoomlion Ghana, making it the ideal organization we want. So based on this, we developed a more profound plan that is going to operate on a decentralized contract system within the Zoomlion. So it's actually going to change the manner in which Zoomlion Ghana takes its contracts with the government. And that is where we believe we can start from and make Zoomlion a better organization. Okay, so to begin with this process, let's look at Zoomlion extensively. Let's look at what Zoomlion do, how they do it, and where do they do it, and the areas they work for, under whose control are those areas, and then we would take it from them. Where do we find Zoomlion people? Zoomlion, their service, where do they do it? So within our communities, and these communities fall within or is under the control of the assemblies, the municipal assemblies. Zoomlion are found at our lorry parks. They clean our lorry parks, and these areas are under the control of GPRTU or road and transport. Zoomlion are sometimes also found along our highway, cleaning our highways. So highway authority comes in. Zoomlion are also found within our hospitals areas. They clean there, they collect trash, they clear weeds when necessary. These areas are also found within, let's say, the Ministry of Health. So you can see that every location you find Zoomlion working falls under the control of an institution or even a ministry. So that should tell you that we can do something about Zoomlion and make it better. So let's look at a system where we don't put it bluntly on the government that the government have contract with Zoomlion and has not redeemed it. The government has not paid for the contract it have with Zoomlion. But we're able to distinctively tell that this particular entity hasn't redeemed its promises, or hasn't paid, or hasn't fulfilled its contract agreement with Zoomlion. So this is how the system is going to be. You're no more going to put it bluntly on the government, but Zoomlion should actually have a contract structure that allows individual institutions to go to Zoomlion and have their own individual contract. Just like we said, Zoomlion workers are found within areas, and all these areas under the control of either institution or even a ministry. So a ministry like Highway Ministry or Ghana Highway Authority would work into Zoomlion themselves and have their own contract with Zoomlion. So in that sense, Zoomlion will allocate a number of Zoomlion workers under them based on the contract they have. So Highway Authority goes to Zoomlion to have their own contract, and they know that about 2,000 or 5,000 workers of Zoomlion is allocated to them nationwide. They are only responsible to make sure that our highways, along the highways, are clean. So in that sense, Highway Authority find their own ways of paying Zoomlion for that particular contract. Likewise to institutions like Ministry of Health. They also work into Zoomlion offices to have their own contracts. And based on the contracts, a number of Zoomlion workers it assigned to them. And these people would only work within areas under under Ministry of Health. Accra Market Limited or Ministry of Trade or whoever is in control of our market system or our marketplaces would also go to Zoomlion and have their own contracts. And in that sense, a number of Zoomlion employees is allocated to them nationwide. That based on the contract you have with us, this number of Zoomlion, 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, any number based on their needs is also allocated to them. And then the organization or the institution find their own way of providing the funds that needs to pay Zoomlion for such contract. So at the end, if you go through like this, at the end of the day, you have each and every individuals within the government sector going to Zoomlion. So likewise, the assemblies would also go to Zoomlion and have their own contract with Zoomlion and be allocated with a number of Zoomlion workers and also Zoomlion equipment that is going to work within our communities, which falls under the controls of the assembly. So with this system, because all the areas that Zoomlion workers operate falls under institutions and ministries, you realize that after everything, you realize that every part that Zoomlions are needed would be touched. Because institutions that those areas fall under would work into Zoomlion office and have their own contracts, and based on their needs, a number of Zoomlion workers will be assigned to them, and they would find their own ways of paying Zoomlion for the work done. So in this case, Zoomlion will be able to tell that these and these and these are the people whose money hasn't reached us, and it's easy to track people for your money, and because you know clearly who is owing you, and it's making the work easier. So a system of this nature, let's look at how it's actually going to benefit the Zoomlion workforce. It's also going to benefit us, people who enjoy the service. So it's no doubt that there's a good number of Ghanaians whose livelihood depends on Zoomlion. According to their numbers, 85,000 of Ghanaians are being employed by them. So let's take it from the employment perspective, how a system of this nature would benefit the employment perspective. So right now that the Zoomlion are telling us that on the average, each worker's salary is in arrears for 8 months, and it's about the entire Zoomlion workforce. So in a decentralized system like we just described, definitely some of the institutions are going to come forth with their salary, because just like I said earlier on, some of them are revenue generation offices, and even some of them also have different way of funding their projects and also their themselves. So we are not going to have the whole money being locked up, but some institutions will come forth with contract payment, and in that sense, some people will be paid. And when some people are paid, it means that some Zoomlions will go to work. So in the event where we have the entire Zoomlion workforce broken down, no refuse at all is collected, they are demonstrating. It's not going to be like that anymore. Perhaps the assemblies would have the capacity to pay for the few workers assigned to them, and you have Zoomlion workers coming to our homes to come and pick up our trash. Perhaps we would also have maybe Ministry of Health, Highway Authority, or any other institution coming forth with contract payments. And in that case, we're going to have that particular section of Zoomlion workers going to work. So you could see that to have the whole Zoomlion workforce broken down, not going to work, agitating, complaining of salary arrears, it's going to be few. Or even beside, once you have a system like that they instinctively tells someone who is owing, they would have a more efficient way of taking their money. And at the end of the day, in that manner, you see that Zoomlion will be resurrecting. And if this strategy is practiced well, you're going to have a revived Zoomlion that is going to provide us with quality service, because when salary are paid, employees are motivated. And it actually gives Zoomlion, an organization, the moral right to reinforce contract agreements with its workers. And in that sense, they will be able to tell their workers to provide quality services. So we will be the people to enjoy the services. So somebody would argue that it's the same government, whether Ministry of Health or Ministry of Transport, the same government, and it's going, the salary or the money wouldn't be coming. It's not going to be that way. So trust me, most of these institutions or most of these areas that falls under institutions, some of these institutions have their money to pay, because some of these institutions are revenue generation institutions, and they can pay for their workers. They are not coming in because it's in the case that affects the entire workforce and it becomes a larger money. But if they are being allocated with a number within their capacity, they will come in and make their own payments. Some of these institutions, as I said earlier on, are revenue generation offices. Example is the assemblies, highway authorities, Ministry of Health. Some of them are revenue generation offices, and they have their own revenue streams that can easily cater for this. If they know that we have 2,000 Zoomlion workers under us, and the contract says that they are going to operate within and around our health sectors nationwide, and at the end of the day, this is the amount that should go to them. Maybe thinking that this is actually going to make it too cumbersome and it's going to be difficult to manage. No, that's not the case. This system is actually going to make it much easier to manage. All the over 200 assemblies and municipal assemblies within the country need Zoomlion in their municipality. So all these people would work into Zoomlion offices themselves and go and have their own contracts. And they would be given the number of Zoomlion workers that's per the size of their constituency or their district needs, and also based on the commercial activity that happens there. Accra Markets Limited or market institution would also have their own people, just like AMA is believed to have its own and has been paying by itself. So the ministries and all those areas that need the service of Zoomlion to be within their jurisdiction or to be within areas under their control will also go there and have their own contracts. And at the end of the day, it will be broken down and the management would be shared. So we are actually going to have a shared management system with a Zoomlion that comes with the contract or the original contract. So that is how it's going to be. So another person also may come in with a different line of argument, but saying that this is going to be a new thing. And how is the government going to actually promote this? Or how is Zoomlion itself is going to actually promote this or market this to make it look new? Because if it should take the old route, we are not going to see the difference. The motivation wouldn't be there. It's going to be the same. So how would this new system be communicated or be marketed? And how would the branding or the packaging or the repackaging of Zoomlion would be once we are adapting such a system? So that is why you will also have to join our next episode. In our next episode, we're going to be a part 3 or a 3 session of this series, which is going to detail how Zoomlion Ghana can actually market this system, can actually rebrand itself with this decentralized system and market it and generate a certain momentum that would make this system very work. Remember, we are going to talk about some operational inefficiencies in Zoomlion and also suggest a way that you could improve upon that Zoomlion is going to be the organization that we all want it to be. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because each and every day you're going to get something interesting. You're going to get something that has to do with you or something that you've been thinking about and been looking for a way to do it, something of that nature. So subscribe, press the notification button, and you're going to be among the first to receive our video whenever the video is uploaded. Thank you so much for joining. This is Global NEXUS Network, and my name is Alex.